Jason, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Jason.
Shannon and Nancy, how are you? Nice to
We're
see
good. Nice
guys
to
can
be
hear me
on
all
the
right?
show.
Yes. Is Garth going to join us this morning, or do we just
No,
have
I
you?
wrote back. Yeah, he can't. He's teaching, so he can't.
Oh, I
he can't
didn't see
be
the
there.
email. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we're thrilled that we have you. We love us some Garth. We'll say nice things about him behind his back, but we're thrilled that you're here. You guys are the co-founders of a wonderful organization that we love, Spectrum Laboratory. Don't know, Jason, what is Spectrum Laboratory?
So Spectrum Laboratory, we just celebrated our 5th year. We're in our 6th year now. In December, we had a big 5-year retrospective show for Spectrum Laboratory, celebrating 5 years of film, acting, music, and animation that we've been doing at Spectrum Laboratory over the past 5 years. When we started, we were just going to make some fun films and do some records and make some music videos and things like that with the autistic and neurodivergent community. And as time went on, we just kept expanding and expanding. So now 6 years later, we have 13 different programs, all ranging in different aspects of filmmaking, acting, voice acting, improvisation, comedy. On the music side, we have a band of autistic performers mixed with actual professional touring musicians that play, which you've seen, Shannon, live on stage, and they're amazing.
Yes.
We have recording workshops where you can start all ages, all abilities, can write a song. If you're 8 years old was our youngest student, we have students in their 30s. So we have students of all ages, all abilities. So if you want to write a song, if you want to learn how to act, if you want to make a short video on YouTube that you can show your friends, or if you want to practice animation, we teamed up with Danny Bowman over almost 4 years ago now. We've been working with Danny Bowman, and she has her own company, Dannymation, and we kind of collaborate with them and make a bunch of animation. And what's been the most amazing thing within the 5 years is we were wanting to make in-house creative projects with friends, family, all the people we love in the community, and our students. And then what's been happening is as the years have been going on, we've found the need for career training and workplace training. And so many of our students and our artists really want careers in the entertainment industry, whether it's a freelance digital artist or it's appearing as an actor in TV shows. So in that whole educational realm, we've now gone into career preparedness and have been actually pretty successful. We've in all 3 of our departments in film, acting, and music and animation have been able to get some jobs for our students and pay them, and they get paid, and they're actually paid working jobs. And one of them was actually for you.
Sorry. Let me mute my dog.
I love it. Well, I
were you
was just saying,
saying,
one of our
Jason?
jobs was actually with you, Shannon, right?
Oh, a job was with Autism-Live.
Yeah.
Yes, my dog is losing her mind right now. Apologize.
That's okay.
But yes, the opening music now when we do the countdown, and you're going to see more Spectrum Laboratory music throughout our show. But right now, when we do the countdown, the minute countdown, that's Spectrum Laboratory music that we contracted with them and artists. I'm going to mute and let you talk about it, Jason.
Okay, yeah, sure. If Garth was here, Garth Herberg, the co-founder, he's the head of our music department. He got a couple of our amazing musicians and composers to do some music for you guys for Autism-Live. And Jay Atticus Cowger was one of our students who worked on it. Sean McRae was another one, and Lucas Salusti all ended up working together with Garth and making that music happen for you guys. So that was just one example of some of the work we've done. But we worked with Sesame Street. We've worked with Exceptional Minds a lot. We love them over there. And our animation team is finishing up work on a feature-length documentary that we're doing animation for. And those were all, it's all paid work, paid jobs. It's a lot of freelance work we're doing. And then some of our actors are auditioning constantly. Like we just had a voiceover audition this past week that Kathy McCauley is our head of our voice department. And she's been amazing and helping coach them for voiceover auditions. And so some of our students just had callbacks for a voiceover for Netflix. I got to be hush hush what it is, but it's a Netflix job. And then speaking of Netflix, a couple of our students had recurring roles on Netflix's Atypical. And one of them is, I believe, was just shooting the other day on set for Atypical. So it's been pretty amazing to see that our little art program that we just started with the one film and music class is now turned into this, you know, this kind of making dreams really come true. That was all our big thing. Our motto was let us be heard. We wanted to, you know, really share the voice of our students' talent with the world. And now it's happening. So let us be heard, and, you know, making dreams come true was kind of our heart and our goal with starting it. And it's just wonderful to see
Yeah,
it.
you've had a lot of success.
What's that?
Tell us about the film Boys Don't Wear Dresses. You've had a lot of success surrounding that project.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, we've had a lot of success, and it's the film, as Jill Hart, who's the mom of Spencer Hart, who Spencer appears in the movie, says it's the little film that keeps on, the little film that could, the little film that just keeps on going. We started Alani Shorin, who is one of my student artists, and I've known Alani for almost 15 years now, which is crazy. Alani's came to me about 3 or 4 years ago wanting to write a short film about what it was like being autistic and gay. And that, so we kind of set up a mentorship with me and Alani, and we started writing just a scene between a professor and a student, you know, kind of wanting to come out and tell the story about being autistic and gay, the struggles behind it and what it's like. And from that little seed, a couple years later, we have a short film that has gone to 14 film festivals. It's won 4 awards, 2 Audience Choice Awards, a Best Screenplay Award, and the Best LGBTQ+ film at the Paris Film Festival. And the film just kind of went from something we thought we may shoot in class to a full-fledged SAG short film. And we got some celebrity cameos. We got Tom Kenny in the movie, who's the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. Mm-hmm. We got Alexandra Billings, which we wrote the stepmom character with her in mind, not ever thinking Alexandra Billings, who's from the show Transparent, that's how we both knew her, to play the stepmom. And then our casting director got her, and we were just blown away. We didn't know how that happened, and we're still mind blown. And then Jill Hart again is great friends with Carol Kane, and got Carol Kane, who is like one of my icon legend heroes. I love Carol Kane, Princess Bride and Taxi, and so got her to do the narration for the movie, and it kind of turned into this Cinderella homage, like a modern day coming of age fairy tale for all ages, for for anyone with family members to watch with their kids, to kind of have a Cinderella fairy tale story that, but it just so happens that the Cinderella in the story is autistic and transgender. And it's not really like over the top talked about that much in the movie. It's not like we hammer that in. It's just kind of like a fairy tale, but that's just how it is. That's who the protagonist is in it. And we've gotten a lot of love from many in the world for the movie. And I know, Shannon, you've said your love for the movie, which has been awesome. And
can I say, we talked yesterday, Jason, and I don't know if you know this, Nancy, at the Center for Autism and Related Disorders, they have a committee that works just on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I had met with them yesterday. They just wanted ideas from me about ways that CARD could, you know, both internally and externally be more of a thought leader in this area. And we were talking about how important it is to educate our staff and our families about the fact that a higher percentage of individuals will identify as LGBTQ and all the other letters, you know, that there is a higher probability than we see even in the neurotypical community, and that we need to be aware of that and inclusive and languaging things for caregivers and for our staff to have an understanding of that. And I brought up this film and said, you know, what a great way to start the conversation. Because I'm a big fan of the film. I think it's just really lovely and special, and it's short, and everyone should see it, and it's enjoyable. It's not like homework or anything. But I want you to hear this, Jason, because you shared the link, and I shared it with somebody on the committee, and their response after they watched it, they wrote me back and said, "OMG," and in quotes, "Go be who you are, lovely one." And they said, "Loved this," with 3 exclamation points. So I just thought that was a wonderful reaction. That's the kind of reaction somebody watched this film and this is what they felt. So I encourage, you know, we sat and watched it as a family with our son. It's a conversation starter. And I think it's a great way we all need to be looking at this with love and with compassion, and there's humor in it. And I absolutely love Spencer Hart is in it. And, you know, I said this to you yesterday. She just slays me. She is so good. She's so funny.
So sweet.
And really, you know, like, I look at her and she's who we all want to be in the film. She's all of us need to get to.
Yeah, we were saying that to each other. Somebody said to me at one point that Spencer's reaction in the movie is how we all should react when someone tells us that they're gay or transgender or, you know, whatever it is, whatever your path in life, who you are, whenever you tell that to someone, Spencer in the movie is the reaction everybody should have, no matter what it is. Yep. And I think it was, "That's awesome," or something like that. I mean, that was pretty much her reaction. And she's like, "I'm glad you told me," you know?
Yeah,
it's just that positive, like, "Thank you for sharing. I support you," kind of reaction, which it would be a wonderful world if everybody was like more like Spencer.
It's where we all need to
be in life. So it'd be just kind of, I mean, a lot of the process with Spencer and Brandon in the movie and Liv, and when we was rehearsing, we did a lot of rehearsals, and a lot of the lines that Alani and I wrote, you know, Spencer would come in and kind of say it her own way, and we'd be like, "Yeah, just do it like that." So we really embraced just like Spencer, who she was, her personality and her part. And I feel that is the way with a lot of the characters in the movie. So pretty much everybody who's in the movie except Alexandra Billings and Tom Kenny are all under the Autistic Neurodivergent umbrella. And most of them are students from Spectrum Laboratories. Like, every face you see besides just the 2 celebrity cameos are all like within our program or from Spectrum Laboratory. And most of them got paid for their work on the movie, which is awesome too. Yeah.
So obviously now everybody wants to see it. Is there any way for people to see it, Jason?
So it just it screened in Canada 2 nights ago at a film festival. So people in Canada, right now, no. If people really want to see the movie and they hear this and they want to watch it, I'm starting to, I have a private link on Vimeo that I'm starting to share with people. So if anybody contacts me personally, and they can contact me through our website, which is speclabs.org, speclabs.org, they can just say, "Hey, Jason, I really want to see Boys Don't Wear Dresses," and then I'll get back to them and send them the link so they can watch it. There's no place online right now that it's just up. It's not like on YouTube or anything like that. So there's the website. So just contact me through the website, and I'll show it to anyone who really wants to see it, who wants to contact me that way.
Great.
Because I really want to get it out there and seen to as many people who want to see it as possible. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of people contacting you, you've got classes going on right now that people could be participating in.
Yes, we just started up our spring semester, our 6th year of classes. We have on the website, you can go under the classes tab. We have a bunch of different classes. Because of the pandemic, which was a blessing and a curse, obviously more of a curse, but the blessing for Spec Labs is it forced us into an online platform, which we never would have done if it wasn't for that. And it's actually working really well. We've had great success with the online platform, especially our digital storytelling workshop. We've gotten students outside of Los Angeles from other states around to participate. So if somebody out there just wants an introduction to Spec Labs, doesn't want to do the whole online classes with a bunch of people, you can get kind of a one-on-one mentorship and create your own little video, your own storytelling video with a bunch of Spec Labs mentors. That's being offered as an online thing. So anywhere around the world, you know, even if you're international, you could take that class with us, and it's over a 2-week span. So it's just like a taste of Spec Labs to see if you're interested. And then other than that, we have all of our regular classes, all our music classes, all our film classes, our animation and voiceover classes. Actually, voiceover is full, so we can't accept any more people in voiceover. That class is to capacity. But animation still has a couple more spots. That's starting tomorrow. But even if you're interested, we could even let you in the next week or two. If you know, after 3 or 4 weeks, then we probably will cut it. But if anybody's interested in joining in and auditing, seeing a class, checking it out, we let you check out the first class for free if you're interested. And then, so yeah, check out our website. Spring classes are here, and we'll probably be doing a little summer program, and classes go all year round. So if anybody's interested, just contact us.
Let me ask you this. Does someone need to be on the spectrum or neurodivergent in order to take classes?
No, we're not funded by any government organization or have any kind of red tape or rules. So we really do we interview every student / parent, whoever kind of comes to us. We kind of do like an introductory meeting, and you know, have them sit in a class and then see if it's a good fit. And it doesn't have to, it has to be like most of our students are somewhere in that, you know, neurodivergent, autistic realm. But we have students that don't have a diagnosis that are in our classes. So it's really kind of, we do it we've always been very person-centered, like each person, and see if they're a good fit. So we also are trying to open up to more communities, the LGBTQ+ community for one. We're probably going to start up a support group soon that will be free with Alani. I'm hoping that happens. And just trying to open it more to anybody who just loves what we do and wants to be a part of it, and find out in what capacity. As a student, as an artist, somebody who wants to create, as a mentor, as a teacher, as a, you know, as just a volunteer, as a singer who's out there who just wants to write a song with some of our students. Like we really are open to anybody coming in, and just finding good, awesome, amazing, like-minded people who really want to create, you know, some great art, some good content. And that's what we're open to. Yeah.
I'm just thinking, you know, I mean, I'd love to take a storytelling class. You know, I mean, doesn't that sound like a great deal of fun, Nancy?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
I mean, in that workshop, you're learning about music creation. You're learning how to create your own score. You're learning about writing your own little short story. You voice over, you narrate your own little short story. So you're learning the art of voiceover, how to record at home, and how to make it sound professional. You're learning acting, because we film you at home, and we try to get you in front of a green screen or whatever kind of background you got at home for filming. And then Spec Labs edits all that together and puts together a little short video. And they're all up on our website too. Like, not our web, yeah, under Spec Lab Films. It's like what we do. Under Spec Lab Films, it takes you to our YouTube page. And on our YouTube page, under Spectrum Laboratory, we have a digital storytelling workshop section. And you can see a bunch of our students who've gone through that and see their cute little amazing story. I mean, some of them are so funny and awesome, and they're all in 2 weeks, which is pretty great. They're really fun. A lot of them are great.
I mean, I just look at over the years what you guys have done, and you know, I'm in awe of the work that you do. And you know, okay, I can think of like one student that I did not know before he started working with you, but I know what his mother has told me. That this was a young man that she was like, I don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't know where he's going to go in his life. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know where he fits in. I don't know how we're going to get from here, point A, to like, what is he going to do? How is he going to find a passion in his life? I don't see this happening. And I have seen what you have done with this particular young man, and he is so driven and amazing. And, you know, he came to you and said he wanted to do a CD, and you guys did CDs with him, and there's a music video. And I just see when I come to your events, he's excited because he is there selling his CDs. And he gets up on stage and he performs. And I just have seen like him blossom. And when you talk to him and he's like, well, I'm an artist and I have a CD, and he has a place in the world that he understands and is passionate about. And his mother just thinks that the sun rises and sets in you and Garth. And I can completely understand why. But Nancy,
I know who you're talking about. And I also think that we gave that young individual, not so young anymore, his first job ever. And he's still working with us, if I'm thinking of the right individual.
I think you probably know who I'm talking about. And I just don't want to call him out here. Yeah. But I know, like, on the other side, and Nancy, I don't want to make you talk about something you don't want to talk about, but you have a son who's a brilliant artist.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard as a parent to be like, okay, well, what do I do with that?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
I don't know how to break into having an art showing, and I don't know how to market his stuff. And like, it's almost like, you have to become the manager and the agent and the creative muse for your child. And sometimes it's just too much.
Yeah.
But I love that then people can come to you guys and say, I'm not really sure what to do here. And then they have the team of you and Garth, and you guys are two of the most creative people I've ever had the pleasure to be in the room with. And you guys make stuff happen. You become their directors, agents, managers, producers, whatever it takes. It's really special what you do.
Oh, thank you. That really means a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's really because we get so inspired by our students. I mean, it's not like, it's not like every day I wake up, thinking that. It's just when I get into conversations with them and they show me how passionate they are about creating their art and doing these things. It's like something about Garth and I and why we're such a good pair is we just kind of like kick into this. We got to make it happen, because we also, I mean, Garth and I are both artists. We don't have any therapeutical background. We don't come from any school. And, we learned about autism through the arts, through art programs. And so we have always been about making the art first. And so we've created so much content because that's what we love to do as artists. But then like the type of content that we've been able to create is like some of the most fun content I've created in my whole life. And I've worked with like A-list celebrities, have been on huge Hollywood sets and, big movies and stuff. And those were miserable experiences most of the time for me, honestly. And so then when we started making these little short films and stuff in classes and green screens and just, making these fun songs, it was like so much more fun than anything I experienced. So that's really what drove us, that drives Garth and I is our students and their stories. They're so much fun to work with. So, and
again, people can go on your website and they can see some of the examples of work that you do have some stuff that's up on YouTube.
We have a ton of stuff on our YouTube page. If anybody wants to watch ours, just go to Spectrum Laboratories YouTube page and you'll see there's so much content, over 100 videos, I think, on there. Yeah.
Wow.
And when we're not in COVID, you do a yearly, or I think is it yearly or you do the Spec Fest, but you just did a big retrospective.
Yeah, once a year. Yeah.
But I got to tell people, if they're in the LA area, whether you're doing it online or whatever, people should go to it. And one of the ones I went to a couple of years ago, there was a video that you played that I think about all the time. It was a music video, and I don't remember who wrote it, but everybody was camping.
Oh, Cheers. Yeah.
Is that what? And Nancy, I don't know if you've seen this, but it's a lot of the people who have been taking classes at Spec Labs for a long time. You guys went out, I'm assuming, into somebody's backyard or the woods or whatever, but it was all these young people sitting around a campfire and they were roasting marshmallows. And it's this music video, very well done. And it has movement and things, and like it'll focus on one person and then they go over and hand a marshmallow to somebody else and it focuses on them. But what I sat there and wept. Because you could see that these young people were friends and they were working. And isn't that what we all want for our kids? To have friends, a sense of belonging, a purpose, and meaningful work. In that video alone, you got to see that they had all of that. And a community of artists, when we look at, back in history at, periods of time when, you know, a group of artists got together and just were creative together and what came out of that. And now we look back and we go, wow, all those people were together, working together. I think that's what you have going on, Jason. I think you have a pod of artists, and that 20 years from now, we're going to look back and go, look, that person, just like we do about Second City from years ago, we go, oh, before they were on SNL, they were all in Second City together. I think that, you know, 20 years from now, people are going to look back and go, oh, that all sprang from Spec Labs. Yeah.
Oh, that
But
would
it
be a dream come true. Yeah.
But the friendship,
It's the
I mean,
community.
because that's something we can't get anyplace else.
Yeah, that's our, you know, I can't stress the community enough, and the parents. And I mean, the parents go and hang out. Like before COVID, they were going to Hollywood Bowl together and going to concerts, and parents meeting each other. So not only the students community, but the parents. And yeah, there's so many students who come in, the parents are like, our kid doesn't have any friends, just sits in this, just on the computer all day, plays video games, or just doesn't do anything. And now, you know, they're having slumber parties and friends coming over, and they're going and doing things together with people they've met through Spec Labs. But yeah, that Cheers video is one of my personal faves too. It's on the YouTube page under music videos. Yeah, it's up on there. Cheers is, I love that. And that was a great example. We had a guest artist named Barry Rose, who's a beautiful singer-songwriter, came in and wrote this song with a bunch of our students, and we just made a whole campfire thing and just had them all come over to, that was my old place where I lived, actually, up in the Hollywood Hills, and just made it, going out into the hills and set up some tents and did a little campfire. And yeah, it was such a fun experience, and I love the way the video turned out. Yeah. But yeah, the community, that's what we wanted to show in that video, was really, and we had some parents in the video. Like Willow's there with her mom, Willow Cox is there with her mom, Sarah. They were in the video together eating marshmallows. So it was just a beautiful thing that came together. Yeah.
Yeah. And I sat there during Spec Fest. I was, you know, it was embarrassing because it was like this happy video, and I sat there and was doing the ugly boohoo, you know, Nancy, when you like can't get it together and people start to look and go, what is wrong with you? This was a happy video. And I think I like had to excuse myself and go to the ladies' room and come back and mop down, because it just really, and I still think about it all the time, because so many of our viewers and our parents and caregivers, because sometimes it's not mom, sometimes it's grandmom taking care of them, will say, you know, that's when you say to them, what do you really want for your kiddo? That's it. That's
a sense of belonging. Yeah, a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
But also that the self-esteem that comes with, okay, here's another example. I think it was the Halloween party that I went to at Asner Center before we were in COVID. And at one point, sensory-wise, it got too much for me. And I went and sat on one of the couches in the front. And there was a young lady who was sitting there next to me. And I thought she looked familiar, and she thought that I looked familiar. We were trying to figure out where we knew each other from. And then I said, well, you know, I'm Shannon, and I identified myself as being my son's mother. And she was like, wait a second, don't you do that show? And I said, yes. And she said, oh, well, I'm an artist. I'm a performer with Spec Labs. And I went, I know who you are. I saw the video in which you did this. You're wonderful. But that's how she identified herself. I'm an artist. I'm a performer. I perform with Spec Labs. You might have seen, you know, and how lovely to have that, the confidence that she was able to identify herself that way. I just think it's a beautiful thing.
I love when I see some of our artists on Facebook, and underneath what they do, they're like, works at Spectrum Laboratory, or artist at Spectrum. I love that. I'm like, that's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. So if people, again, we want to point out that you have classes that people can come to, just one class, and that's free to see if they like it.
And
they're online.
Also the digital storytelling workshop, we're going to start offering that pretty soon, so people can sign up, and we'll start offering that. That's under classes as well, if you want a more one-on-one mentorship style, or if they're not into a whole group class. But if they want that social community aspect, even though it's online on Zoom, I mean, I've even been able to make an improv class happen online, which I was like, that's never going to happen. But it's amazing. We have so much fun. Like every Friday for an hour and a half, we're just laughing and joking around online. it's like almost everybody from our program is in there just joking around and saying hi to each other. And, it's, so yeah, our classes online at speclabs.org.
But you can also, do a one-on-one experience where you can bring your child and they can talk to you about it and they can say, I don't really know what my child wants to do. Or I know my child has this talent, but I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And you'll take that ball and run with it.
Yeah, wherever they're at, we'll just try to figure out and see what we can do.
And you don't have to be in Los Angeles. Sorry, I keep over talking, but you don't have to be in Los Angeles. We're in COVID. You figured out how to do this online.
Yeah, and I think even after we meet in line, we're still going to, even when we meet in person, we're still going to offer some stuff online, because I think that as we grow, that there's going to be the need for that. And we want to be able to reach out amongst just our LA, community.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. So tell them again where they need to go, Jason.
The best place to go is our website, speclabs.org. In the stream there, I saw you guys posted our YouTube page, which is probably my second favorite place to send people. Also underneath that YouTube page is a beautiful for our 5-year retrospective, there's a student testimonial. And there were a bunch of our students are talking about Spec Labs and showing clips of the work they've done. That's one of my favorite things that's up on there on our YouTube page. But then also all our music videos and short films. So if you watch that and you get inspired and you're like, yes, I'd love to join, whether it's you who wants to join or if it's a parent looking for their kid, then go to our website and contact us through there.
Nancy, I keep over talking you. Did you have a question for Jason?
No, I just think this is such a great way for kids to find out, where their talents lay. Sometimes we don't even know, as you said, and this can be full of discoveries for a lot of our kids.
Oh yeah, a lot of our students start off just being like, I just like listening to music, and we're like, all right, here we go, let's figure it out. Cool, let's go with that.
Yes. And
so you
find
take that germ of an idea and let it blossom, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah. And as we get closer to Autism Awareness Month in April, if people wanted to create a screening of Boys Don't Wear Dresses, like a digital screening for their organization or something, they can also reach out to you. Is that a possibility?
Yes. Yeah. Contact me through the website and let me know that. Also, we have a Boys Don't Wear Dresses Facebook page and an Instagram. So you can look up Boys Don't Wear Dresses on Facebook and Instagram and find us through there, as well as Spectrum Laboratory. On Instagram, we're Spectrum_Laboratory. And on Facebook, it's just facebook.com Spectrum Laboratory, I think. So that's another great way to reach out or just to follow us on social media. But yeah, the website's pretty much the contact form on the website I'll probably get that the quickest, I think.
So we've talked about a lot of different things that you guys do, but now that since I brought up what a talented painter Wyatt is, have you guys ever had an artist who's like a painter, not an animator, that you guys, or is that something that you feel like maybe you haven't done it before, but is that something that you feel like you'd be excited to take on?
I've always wanted to do painting classes, and we actually did one round, and Liv Brazil, who's in Boys Don't Wear Dresses, who's one of our instructors, kind of ran that because Liv's a painter. And so it's something I've always wanted to do, but I really believe that, an online painting thing could be cool. I think like in person, it's great because then, it's great to paint around people. I've always thought that really fun. But yeah, also with our digital illustration program, a lot of people who are painters or who paint will come into that program. It's our animation team right now, but we're actually gonna, I think next round or very soon, we might start doing digital painting workshops. So trying to do some digital design, digital graphic work. But
I also want you to create a digital show. Can you create a digital showcase for a bunch of artists? Can you do that?
A digital showcase for a bunch of artists?
Yeah, like, because, we used to have art openings and go to art galleries and things like that, but we really can't do that right now in COVID, at least not in Los Angeles. I want somebody to figure out how can you do a digital showing of artwork with so that people can appreciate it, but also so that people can purchase it.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, we have so many artists who are painters and, you know, animators, painters, digital designers, illustrators. So it's like, I kind of want, I mean, our animation program is kind of, we've always called it visual arts, but right now we're just online offering animation, but I want it to grow. I definitely want it to get into more painting and like actual painting and digital design, and then doing some kind of art showcase. We actually have, before we go, this mug I have is actually, it's a Spectrum Laboratory mug called Use Your Imagination. We just started an online merch store, but we're going to be showcasing a bunch of our artists' work to buy on that store, and it's through sevenly.org. And Sevenly is a really great organization. It's like it's like the number 7, but with an LY at the end, but it's spelled out SEVENLY.org. And you can look up Spectrum Laboratory, and we've already started getting some of our artists' work up on there.
Right.
Creating, like, there's a bunch of Boys Don't Wear Dresses, like the poster for Boys Don't Wear Dresses is up on there for sale. So I'm trying to get a bunch of our artists who actually do design work, or if like someone's a painter, getting their painting up on there, and then people could buy the painting.
Because this is exactly what I'd like, because I'd like it to be in conjunction with a site like that where, because I used to have note cards that were all paintings that were done by artists that were on the spectrum. And I could send a thank you note to somebody, and I knew that I was putting my dollars where my head is and my heart is. So I'd like to be able to, for instance, look, because Wyatt has some gorgeous paintings. I'd like to be
I'd love to see them, Nancy.
Right now I need a tote bag, and I want to have Wyatt's painting on a tote bag, and then I want to have this one on a mug, and I want to have that one on a mouse pad. That's what I want. So
yeah, like this thing is like, those are all of our artists. Like, you recognize some of these faces, you know.
Yes.
Like there's who's right there, Spencer right there, and Willow. And this was a design for that virtual reality Use Your Imagination video that we did with Facebook. We did a virtual reality musical, and so this was a graphic from that. But that, you know, so we're trying to do a bunch of graphics that feature our artists, but also have been created by our artists. So like Danny Bowman created the Boys Don't Wear Dresses poster. So we're trying to get that up on Sevenly, and Sevenly is amazing. So
I look forward to that.
Look on there, and we're going to keep building that, and we're going to do a big thing for Autism Awareness Month. So your digital online kind of store to help a bunch of our artists, because a lot of that money is going to go to scholarshiping the artists themselves. Like, for
I love all of that. We're out of time, unfortunately.
We're out of time.
But we love what you're doing, Jason. It's so amazing. People should go to your website, check out everything that you have going on, and they should participate and support. And they should definitely go to your YouTube channel and look at some of the videos, because they're amazing.
That's so fun.
What's the chicken one? Chicken bone?
Oh, Lucas is a chicken bone. Yeah, chicken bone was one of the first ones we ever did. That one's amazing.
Not to be missed. Not to be missed. All right. Much love to you. Give our love to Garth and all the students.
Much love. Nice talking with both of you as usual.
Great talking with you. You're very you're inspiring.
Thanks. And I love the work you guys do too. And, you know, I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Okay. Take care, Jason.
All right.
Thanks for watching Autism Live. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.